Alright guys, what this is going to be is a review of the Gemfan 5042 WinDancer props. At some point, excuse the guy with the chainsaw walking all over my video. This is a forest after all. But anyway, this prop, well, let's backtrack a little bit. Right here, this is a 4.3 V1S. For the longest time, the HQ543 nylon fiber was the nylon fiber? Glass fiber? Nylon fiber was basically the benchmark by which all other 5-inch props were measured. Nowadays, given that the top guys like Chad and Steele and a bunch of other guys, they moved to the V1S, it's become the new benchmark. It doesn't mean it's necessarily the best prop. It is the best prop for some, but not for everybody. But it's definitely the benchmark by what other props are measured. So it is a great example when we look at the new WinDancer. The reason being, this is a 4.2 pitch prop. This is a 4.3. This one's a little bit wider and stiffer. What I found in testing is that basically they pull exactly the same amps, or almost exactly for that matter. And that's a big deal because it allows you to compare, and when you're flying, you know that whatever you can fly with this, you should be able to fly with that. But that's where the similarities end. See, Gemfan, this is an absolutely awesome prop in my opinion. And Gemfan proved they can make a great prop when they launched the 5052 flash props. Now, the one issue I have with this prop is that when they launched it, in my opinion, they were a little bit late because they did it, in my opinion, as an answer to the Racecraft 5051s. And at that point in time, which is now, people are starting to pitch back down. Basically they pushed all the way up there, and then realizing that in the upper fours, it's better. So this prop initially was super popular, and people started losing popularity a little bit, and because of the super steep pitch. That's one reason I don't fly it very much. I have friends that fly it, they love it, but I just feel it's too aggressive for me, my style, and what I fly, and how I like to deal with my batteries. But the 5042 WinDancer is basically almost just about the same profile. It has the little barbs at the end for controlling turbulence. They point down as well. It's just a little flatter, and because it has less pitch, it can get away with a thinner hub. If you see the hub on the 5052, same thing with the Cyclones and whatnot, there's a very, very tall hub, which means that on some motors you have a hard time finding grip on the threads for nylocks. Where on this one, this will fit in just about any motor because it is such a short hub. Another thing to keep in mind, in terms of stiffness compared to the V1S, the V1S is a very flexy prop. And that's one reason why I have kind of like love-hate relationship with it. It seems to work well for me on some builds, but on other birds, especially the heavy ones, even though it's so popular on a heavy alien with a GoPro, I just find it's too flexy. It bothers me. I can get a good tune, but I have a harder time tuning it than I do with this or Cyclones for some reason. But it seems to work for a lot of people, and the one reason is because of the efficiency. Definitely way more efficient than a 5046 Cyclone, which is what I normally fly, up until now at least. This prop will give you the same efficiency, but it has a lot of the great same qualities that a Cyclone has. In fact, it feels a lot like a Cyclone, just less aggressive and less stiff. It has this thing where at low throttle, at low RPM, it has a lot of low end control, and I love that. This is a prop that needs to go faster for control, but when you're flying slow and low and whatnot, the control just feels amazing on this. Same thing with Cyclones, but this one's even better because it's lighter. So it has a really crisp feel of a prop that's light that changes speed really fast. So that's something that I really like about it. Almost to the point where I feel that I want to add more expo when I have this prop on, simply because it feels like so responsive, and I'm so used to other birds where it's a little bit more dull that I almost want to add more expo in this to dull it down a little bit. But that's actually a good thing because you have that control. You can just add more expo if you need to. Apart from that, it's really well balanced. I like how it tunes. It has like the tune sweet spot in this guy. It's so wide that I was like trying all kinds of different things, pushing the numbers up, and it still flew great. So it's really easy to tune. I gotta say, a lot easier to tune than this guy. And I think it might be because of the resonance, the fact that it's flexy and this and that. That this I find this prop harder to tune. On some birds, it just tunes really easily right away, right off the bat. But for me, on a lot of quads like this one, it takes more work, in my opinion. Also, being a light prop and also not having a lot of pitch, it works well across the board. Like some props like this, you need a very strong motor to run it. You can't run it on a 2205, at least not effectively, in my opinion. But like on a 2306 or something stronger, a big motor 2207, they're fine. This prop, however, is very versatile. So you can run it on a 2205, 2206, 2306, 2207. But I've also run it on 2204s and it flies just fine because it's so similar to this in pitch. So as far as versatility goes, it's awesome. Very much on par with this as far as versatility goes. So yeah, I feel you should give them a try. Definitely one of my favorite props right now. I originally got them for racing and ended up on my freestyle birds, but I'm definitely gonna add it to another some of the racing quads soon. So anyway, so the footage now is gonna be with this guy with those props, so you can check it out, see how they fly.